In the warmth of our shared apartment, with fingers gently entwined, Leia once promised that together we'd create a life of beauty and meaning. Her voice held a depth that felt far greater than any wedding vow. At 34, I believed in the strength of our connection. It felt unbreakable. For 8 years we'd been a solid unit, 6 of those spent as husband and wife, driven by the same dreams. We didn't have children. Instead, we devoted ourselves to exploring the world, chasing our creative callings, and imagining a peaceful retirement in a quaint riverside cottage. Our aspirations aligned as naturally as stars tracing the same sky. But I've learned, promises can fade without a sound. When Leia was promoted, I was thrilled for her. She had worked hard and deserved every bit of recognition. The new position, however, came with frequent training trips, the first of which took her away for a month in February. She returned glowing, filled with stories about a colleague named Noah. She described him as thoughtful, someone who could hold deep conversations about books and the soul. Leia had always been introspective, but she'd respected my more grounded, skeptical view of life. I didn't think much of it at first. I trusted her. She was my home. But small cracks began to show. Their messages would stretch into the early hours of the morning. When I asked about it, her response was soft but distant. "He's just a coworker," she said, her smile both soothing and slightly evasive. "You're the one who holds my heart." I wanted to believe her. I did believe her. I clung to her reassurance like a lifeline. By the time March arrived, and with another trip around the corner, I sensed something shifting. I gently asked if she was happy if we were still solid. Her words were kind, yet her eyes seemed to drift elsewhere. Her next trip in April lasted nearly 2 months. We stayed connected at first, through calls, messages, video chats, but then her responses slowed, her voice grew colder, and our conversations turned into arguments. I admit I was wrestling with my own self-doubt, and I wasn't the easiest partner. Still, it felt like she was slipping further away. One evening, she asked for space. "I love you," she said softly, "but something feels different." Her words cut deep. Then came May, and with it, a late-night phone call where she spoke with unnerving clarity. "I think this is the end for us." When she returned in June, I met her at the airport, clinging to fragments of hope. But the woman who walked through those gates didn't feel like mine anymore. Her eyes held no recognition. Her embrace was mechanical. That same night, she said it out loud, "I don't love you anymore." I begged her for honesty, for a chance to fight for what we had, but her answers were cold, rehearsed even. She talked about tidying up the place before she left, wanting to leave on good terms. Her tone was oddly detached, as if reading from a script. Desperation took over, and I did something I'd never imagined myself doing. I went through her phone. In all our years together, I had never once invaded her privacy. But this time, my instinct screamed. What I found was devastating. Leia and Noah weren't just friendly colleagues. They were making plans for a shared future. During that April trip, they'd already signed a lease together. Their messages were filled with intimacy, confessions, and plans to leave me behind. She wrote about being ready to let go of our life, of me. Even while reassuring me that I was her everything, she had already chosen him. I saved those messages, not to hurt her, but to finally see how far the truth had been buried. In the days that followed, I asked her again to be honest. She called me controlling, said I was suffocating her. The same woman who once vowed to build a world with me now painted me as the villain. The night she packed up and left, she placed the blame on my shortcomings, on my flaws. I stayed quiet, watching her walk away. Then I sent her the screenshots. She responded weakly. "It only started after I felt done with us," she claimed. It wasn't cheating. But the real dagger was this. "I haven't been happy in years." That sentence haunted me. How could nearly a decade of love, laughter, and shared goals be rewritten as misery? But I didn't let her betrayal define me. She once said we'd live boldly, and I decided to do just that, with or without her. I left the city we called home and went on my own adventures. I stood at the edge of towering cliffs, breathed in unfamiliar skies, and felt freedom for the first time in years. Slowly, happiness returned. I reconnected with old friends, found laughter again, rediscovered parts of myself I'd long buried. I started crafting the life we once dreamed of, not out of revenge, but as a tribute to my own worth. Whispers about Leia's downfall eventually reached me. People said regret clung to her, that the life she built with Noah unraveled, that she traded something real for a fleeting illusion. Meanwhile, I had taken the pain and used it to rise. The divorce went through in just 4 months. Signing the documents felt like putting away a book I used to love, knowing I'd never read it again. I didn't mourn her. I mourned the version of the future we'd once imagined. The river cottage, the sunrises, the adventures that would never come. I let myself grieve without hiding from it. And then, one day, Leia texted. A simple message. I hope you're okay. I ignored it. More messages followed. Apologies laced with regret. And then she showed up right at my door. Her eyes were swollen from crying, her voice trembling. Can we talk? She asked. Against my better judgment, I let her in. I needed closure. She poured out her heart. Noah, she said, wasn't what she'd hoped for. Their relationship had dissolved into emptiness. She missed what we had, our connection, our steadiness. Tears streamed down her face as she whispered, I still love you. I let her words hang in the air. Then I replied calmly, You don't miss me. You miss what I gave you, stability, trust, a place to rest. But you destroyed that. I can't be that for you anymore. Her face crumpled. But I wasn't cruel, just done. I'm no longer the man you left, I told her. I've grown. I've healed. I hope you do too, but without me. She left, and I closed the door behind her. This time it didn't hurt. I've moved on. I laugh more now. I've built new friendships, explored new beginnings. I've dated, rediscovered excitement, and felt joy spark again in unexpected moments. When I look at who I am today, stronger, more self-aware, I know that nothing she did can take that from me. Leia taught me how love can reach great heights and how fragile it can truly be. But she also taught me the importance of choosing myself when trust is broken. I'm living proof that even from the ruins of heartbreak, something powerful can be born. A new beginning,